Hello,
Hello.
No.
Janice. I couldn't get in.
Sometimes
Mine said starting at 8:30. I was wondering.
sometimes it takes a while for the for it all to come together.
Okay, all right. Jeanette is on her way. All right.
Let's see.
So Susan must be here somewhere.
Well, she's
Muted.
her camera's not on. I don't know what she's using, and I don't know who Shutesbury host is. That might be Susan.
That's
also.
Susan. That's Susan. So sometimes what she does is she's on her computer, but she's also uses her phone for.
Oh, geez, you all, you missed my explanation about why I wished you would give me a few minutes, grace.
I
Did
know
you hear that?
we heard it, but if you sent us an email, we didn't see it.
I did not send you an email, but I did not realize I was muted. I thought I had unmuted.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, let's see.
There you
There
are.
you are.
I can see you now too. So we do not have Jeanette. Do we know, is she away
She's,
again?
she's on her way in the house, so she's
Okay.
Okay,
called
she said
making sure
she was coming. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So we have a quorum. We can go ahead and meet, right?
We can. I'd like to have Jeanette present.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess we can open the meeting.
It's up to you.
Okay. Do we need a roll call vote, Linda, to
Oh,
open the meeting?
Yes.
Call the meeting to order.
Okay. So we'll call the meeting to order at 5:36 p.m. And
You do need a roll call vote.
and a roll call
Not a vote, we'll
to
just say who's here. Yeah.
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 That's what
right, to establish, not a vote, right, to establish who's here. Joanne Bernhardt is here.
Martha Faber's here.
Janice Gray is here.
Susan Millinger is here serving as secretary.
And Linda Ava Scott.
Okay. I'm sorry, Martha, have you heard from Jeanette that she's on her way?
Oh, I was having trouble getting on, so I called her and I said, "Are you trying?" And she said she was just coming in the house. So,
Okay.
let's move along and maybe hopefully she'll join us.
Okay. Okay, so we are needing to consider the minutes. Susan, would you like to? Janice?
Well, I'd just like to point out that my understanding is that in September, we did not consider the minutes for August 9th either. So we have two sets of minutes to approve.
Okay.
Right. That's why I sent them both to you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you wanna, someone can make a motion to approve the 8-9. I'll make a motion to approve the 8-9-23 minutes.
Joanne Bernhardt seconds.
And so then we
Vote.
see
Roll call vote,
any
Bernhard,
discussion.
aye. Any
Barbara, aye.
discussion? Bernhard, aye. Faber, aye. Yeah, right. Gray?
Gray, aye.
Millinger, I.
And Scott, aye.
Okay. And now the minutes of September 13th. I make a motion to accept the minutes of September 13th as presented by the secretary.
Martha Favre seconds that motion.
Okay, this is probably a good time for the secretary to say that she got a last minute, because I was away with the company, so it turned out to be last minute, change in the minutes, and I will explain what they are, and you can decide whether to accept them without actually seeing them. In the section that says vacancies, I have omitted the first sentence and written again, instead, J.S. Gray will attempt to include the COA's vacancies in our town, space permitting.
I make a motion to accept it.
Well, we
Yeah, I
have a
don't-
motion on the table. So this is a discussion of the motion. What do we need to do here, Linda?
So we would say that we're going
Propose an
to,
amendment?
we're gonna, right, we're gonna propose to accept the minutes as amended. So you would say,
Okay.
I'm gonna revise my motion.
Okay,
Okay.
this is Bernhard. I will revise my motion to accept the minutes of September 13th, 2023 as amended.
Thank you.
Favre.
Okay. Roll call vote, Bernhard, aye.
Favre, aye.
Gray,
Millinger, I.
And Scott, aye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Chasing down all those minutes, right? Okay, financial update and grant update, I think we can talk about together if that's okay. I sent you all the updated grant information, which was sent to me by Adam Frank of the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, EOEA, which is the granting body. And the amount from the spreadsheet that he sent out that we're supposed to get is $7,994. So I went back and recalculated from July to the present what that means for our budget. And I sent that out to everyone. Did people have a chance to look at that? Or do you want me to go over it? Susan, I thought you might like to have those figures without having to write everything down.
Yeah, and I will just refer to receiving something from you because I don't think I saw it. I did receive something, but I'll check.
you
Okay.
came in
Okay, well,
just after.
I'll recap, okay? So, at the end of FY 23, we had a rollover of $1,778.43. I have no idea what the 43 cents is about.
It's
With the
just
money that
there.
we're,
We need
it's
to spend-
there, right?
It's just
The
there.
money that we're supposed to get from the grant, $7,994 gives us a total at the beginning of the fiscal 24 year of $9,772.43. Okay, so the expenses that we've had from July, August, and through September. The foot care is $547. The MCOA dues is $230. The library invoice is $1,500. And the village neighbors donation is $1,000. Leaving that totals, those expenses total $3,277, which leaves us with $6,000 $495.43. Janice?
And I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's in there and I'm just mixing it up with something else. I'm not seeing $100 for the birthday decade celebration.
That comes from a separate account.
Okay,
The town of Shutesbury every year has given COA $200
Oh,
in a
okay.
town account.
okay, got it.
So we did take $100 from the town account and we have another $100 left in that account. This is just the grant account.
Okay,
that
I
was-
forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, thanks. No, thanks for clarifying. Okay.
So,
Jeanette's coming in.
I have, wait a minute. This is Linda. I have a question, Joanne, and that
Yes.
is that, you listed, an amount for foot care.
Those were three months.
Right, and so in order to truly calculate what is left for a working balance at this point, you know, what is
Okay.
unallocated, you have to subtract foot care for the allocation for the whole year, so you know, you know what I'm saying? Because you've got just 3 months.
I wasn't doing the budget. I was just doing what we have now up
Okay.
to October.
Okay, all right, got it, okay.
Yeah.
But just in terms of understanding where what you've got as an unallocated amount at this point, you would still want to subtract from that 9 months of foot care, so you know that.
Yes.
Okay, that's all, yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
Exactly.
okay. Yeah, so that's 9 times 192.
Okay, so this was just a snapshot of where we are.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah,
Jeanette, I don't know if you got the thing I sent out today about the financial update.
I have been
Basically-
running since 8 o'clock this morning, so I don't know if I did.
Okay, basically, we got more money than we were expecting.
Oh, yeah, it came out to like, there was like $6,475 or something.
Exactly. So
Okay.
we have more left over than we were expecting. Okay. And Linda just reminded us that we do need to, for the whole budget for the year, do an annual foot care amount. Which Linda gave us for the last budget.
yes, so since you've
Analysis.
already subtracted July, August, and September, Joanne, from
Yeah.
what's available, you'll want to subtract another 9 months worth at 192 to give you really what's free right now, free cash. so to
Yes,
speak.
exactly. Okay. I will do that and I'll send it around. Okay.
So I have a
Yes.
quick question, just a clarification. The foot care by nurses, was that for 3 months or 2 months that you
For 3
report-
months,
For 3
July,
months.
August, September.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that anyone can remember that I may have forgotten to include? I looked up all the old warrants, so this should be it, but
Well,
Okay.
and I just wanted to say about the fitness class funding. Right, we haven't received an invoice for that yet.
the fitness class funding was for half the year.
Right, yeah,
So that would be through December.
Yeah.
Right?
yes,
October, November, December, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Martha?
The fiscal year begins July 1? Okay,
Yes.
curious, okay.
Okay, so, because we have, this is just a question I have, because we have a lot more funds available than we thought we did. We need to discuss in the next meeting how we want to use those funds. So if people would please think about that, and we'll talk about it in November. Okay, okay, are we, yeah.
You know, I just thought of one more thing. Is that excuse me, the smartphone classes, the cost of the smartphone classes is not.
right. The cost of the smartphone classes will be $100.
Yeah, so just, yeah.
But
so you
thanks,
wanna add
but
that
thank,
in.
I'll note that too, yeah.
For next, yeah, that's,
Okay, and then another 9 months of foot care.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, and I know, since we're doing that, also, we were talking about another Gazette at some point.
Yes.
So just
Yes. Yeah,
put that in the file too,
Yeah.
thank you,
yeah,
says Janice, great.
okay,
yeah, that was $800. We had set aside $800 for that.
okay. Okay, so I will do those numbers and send that around before the next meeting. If you all could think of ways we can spend our money.
Already.
Yeah. Okay, Martha, you want to give us an update on the smartphone program?
sure. I'd be happy to. So the smartphone program is, I believe it's Wednesday, October 25th. And we have, so it's Barbara Friedman, it's from 10 to 11:30 is the iPhone section. And we have 6 people signed up for that and 2 additional people. And Marianne sent me a thing today and asked if I would ask Barbara Friedman, who I spoke to this morning about just the class, if she would consider taking 8 people in the class. So I told her, well, I will get back to Barbara and ask her that. And we have, it's a limit to 6 people per class, and we have 3 people signed up for the Android version. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I talked to Marianne today. She said 5 people had signed up for the Android.
okay, so
Wow.
and this is 2 weeks more to go, so we might want
Yeah.
to add $100 because we may be doing this class again. So people, I'm in the process of emailing the questionnaires, the electronic questionnaires to individuals, which asks them what they want to know and how versed they are in terms of using the phones. And Joanne and I are going to go in prior to the class and just try and clean up that. It's the big room at the end of the hall. I don't know what you call it. It's where we vote. And so, yeah, so that's, that's great. I mean, the classes are almost filled and it's 2 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
And
People can register, so sorry, people can register up to for 2 more weeks?
yes,
Okay.
well,
Thank-
it's interesting. We don't really have the iPhones where she started a wait list, and I'll ask Barbara if she would take 8. I don't know. Anyhow, I'll let her answer that question. And yeah, we don't actually have a cutoff in terms of when they need to know. I mean, if people fill out these questionnaires, it would be great. Because that will give the instructor a better sense of what people want to know in the class. I mean, if people want to know what the questionnaire is, I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Janice, I think what Susan was wondering, maybe for the minutes, is whether there was a deadline to sign up for the class. It sounds like there wasn't.
There is
Mhm.
not.
Thanks, Janice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. So the questionnaire is, how long have you used one? What do you use it for? Take photos, text, emails, and things you find frustrating. And this is what I don't understand. And I would most like to use my smartphone to do X. So,
Mhm.
any questions on that?
No, thanks.
No. Oh, the only other thing would be to remind people to bring their phones fully charged.
Oh, very good point. Okay.
Because they won't have a chance, I don't think, in that room to charge anything.
No, she needs Barbara needs an extension cord, and I said I would provide that.
Okay. But what does she need for equipment with the screen? Do you,
Well, I talked to her about that, and so there's this H2Z whatever. There's a cable that she needs to connect, and she's well versed in that. And I said, I had spoken to Becky Torres last week, making sure we had the room, which we did. It had been reserved, and I said, "Do you have the cable to easily connect from our system to Barbara Friedman's Mac?" And they do. And I spoke to Barbara about that, and I said, "We have that connection." She goes, "Yeah, it's just this particular kind of cable, and I have one." So I said, "If you could just please bring one, it's always great to have an extra one." And she said, "I will," and I'll find an extension cord so that we can just plug her Mac into the extension cord so that she doesn't, in the event she has any troubles, because she's going to be doing this for 3 hours.
Mhm.
An hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half. So that should work. And then the screen is there that is provided within the room. It's there. My understanding is
Mhm.
from Becky.
Mhm.
Is that right, Linda? I mean, it just
Yeah,
sits there.
it's too big to put anywhere else.
Yeah, it's huge.
Right. Okay, so remind people to charge your phones. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much for organizing all this, Martha. It's really great.
Oh, you're welcome.
So next on the agenda is the website review. Janice?
I'm leading this.
You can lead, yes.
Well, I was looking at my own notes that were sent out that I sent somewhere, or anyway, they ended up in the minutes. And what I was basically trying to ask you guys to do, and Susan did send out a sort of a little reminder email, was, and now I gotta find things here. Anyway, what we don't want to have like a zillion tabs across the top of this page, but we want to neaten things up and consolidate. And I simply gave you not as my own suggestions, but what other committees and one department had done. And one of the tabs that one department or committee used, and I don't know which one, was simply resources, and that's in my opinion, useless. So I personally wouldn't even say resource, because the page is a resource. It needs to be more specific. So that's what I was asking you guys to think about. How can we sort of clump some things together and get some of the extra verbiage off of our page? Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we're going from here. And maybe people didn't have time to look at it. Maybe we should do a screen share of the webpage, or leave this for another time. I don't know.
I think it would be really helpful to have a screen share of the website. That's my vote, one person.
Okay.
Do
Does
the rest-
anyone know how to do that?
I don't.
Oh, geez. Well,
I
I
can-
think if somebody
I can do it if you make me a co-host, Joanne, or Susan, whoever's Susan. I
hang
guess.
on a second, I will make you co-host, Linda.
Yeah, it'll take me a couple minutes to,
Okay,
Do it.
you've got it.
okay. Okay.
Wait,
so,
I have to say yes. All right.
yeah, give me a couple minutes and
Mhm.
I'll work on that for you.
Um,
In the meantime, thank you, Janice, for keeping the website up to date.
Well, that's not necessarily. I mean, there are some things that are probably are out of date at this point.
yeah. Well, uh,
Jeanette, I apologize if I took time letting you in. It's hard to be both the secretary and keeping an eye on who's ready to come in. So we might want to appoint somebody, co-host, to do that on a regular basis.
Okay, no worries.
Okay,
And
everybody?
And Janice here, apologizing in advance to Linda, because I saw on an email that came out from the Council on Aging that Martha was now co-chair, so I updated the main contacts on the right there. But in the process, I took Linda off completely, and she's still, she should be on there at least for one more meeting.
Oh, that's
This one.
okay. That's okay, though you're reminding me that actually you all need to vote on Martha being co-chair.
Ah,
Yeah.
Good, that was my question.
Officers are
Yeah.
voted on. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we do that under unanticipated items since it's not on the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So to be continued.
okay, so
Um,
here's the web page. Do you
down?
want me? How would you like to look at it? Shall I just scroll down slowly?
Yes, please.
um, hmm.
Okay.
Lot of stuff there.
Yes, and
Yes.
Lot of
on the
stuff, yeah.
right-hand side are links to the minutes and gazettes, right? Yes. Yeah. And the
Mhm.
bylaw. Right, you probably can't, it's hard to see those because our images are there, but anyway, there you go. Let me know if you want to see something else again.
Well, I sort of think that current events like the smartphone and the new nurse are worth being on the page, not being tabs.
I agree.
Mhm.
I think what I was, Janice speaking, I think what we were talking about several months ago when this first came up after the public health nurse came in with this long thing from the Board of Health about what her duties are, is that current events would be the things we would have on here, and the things that are sort of fixed and don't change would be what might be tabs. And that's what the few committees and boards that have used tabs, that's what they've done with them too, particularly the Board of Health.
Mhm.
Right.
So, so Susan, so do you think that the age-friendly communities project should be a tab? Because that's a sort of permanent thing. And
H,
life
Yeah,
should be.
this is Joanne. I think that the Franklin County and North Quabbin Age Friendly Communities Project should be a tab.
You'll have to make it a short form of that.
Yeah, I would say just age-friendly communities project or
Okay.
age-friendly.
right.
So life
Mhm.
path services, yes?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know that people looking at the website would know what to look for under life path services. So maybe an introduction to life path and then a tab for the resources.
Sure.
Because there are so many things that life path does. You know, which makes it very wordy on the homepage, but you know, I've talked to a number of people who have no idea what life path is. So I think there should be something on the homepage that at least defines it
Yes,
and then says, you know, for more information,
click on the tab
click on
above.
this tab.
We talked
Yeah.
about this last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you could include things like for example, and at the end of the first sentence, you could say services, for example, include something like that: home share program,
Mhm.
money management program, help with medical plans, things like that.
It could just be a sentence. It doesn't have to be a bulleted list like it is now.
Right? No,
Yeah.
could be a sentence.
Mhm.
Uh,
But should it be a tab, Janice, with more information on each
Well, I
thing?
think what I heard last time, and I think what I just heard now, and I may be wrong, is that life path should have a paragraph explaining what life path is, sort of. And I'm gonna,
Mhm.
I'm forgetting that I'm not looking at the webpage myself, so I can't scroll up, but have an introduction, and then, as was said, among services are home share, free money management program, uh, help with Medicare, Medicaid, mass health plans. I think that's really important to include, and other. And here's where you could say, and other resources, which is sort of like,
Mhm.
anyway. And click for more information on, click on the Life Path tab above.
Yeah.
So that.
Well,
This is-
can we go back to the one before? Okay, because when you look at Shutesbury is part of, life path occurs in the first sentence, but when you look at other life path services, I think it's not entirely clear that the Age-Friendly Communities Project is a life path project.
Except it isn't, kind of. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, then we shouldn't say other life path services because it's not other.
We could, yeah, I was just going to say Life Path for the second part.
Okay.
Because the Age-Friendly Communities Project is you know global, and Franklin Council of Governments is not only Life Path. That was a
Right.
problem from the start.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Okay, so if
We
we
can
leave
always
that,
change it. If you don't like what I do, we can change it.
okay, so within other life path services, we could just take off the other and have life
Yeah,
path services.
that's what I was planning to do.
Okay, good.
At that, this is Martha. At that point, I mean, does it make sense in that area to add a link for Village Neighbors, a short description of what Village Neighbors offers, and then a link to their website?
It is it is further down.
And we also have a
There's
problem of linking to websites that are not
Right.
government. So that's why that's why the website isn't there. But if you look at the email address, you can probably figure out what the website is without breaking the web committee's rules.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, all right.
Is this in some kind of alphabetical order, or is it?
I can't remember. And I can't see the whole thing, so.
Okay.
I wonder if it would be useful to have some kind of category, tab category that's something like health resources.
I think it would, because I think health resources, and there, it could be, a board of health and, vaccination, clinics or updates or something.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute, so click here for the latest. This is Martha, click here for the, I'm on the website, so it puts you to Pandemic Board of Health, okay. So we can, so just a question, so Janice, you can link it to websites that are in town, because you know they're updated?
Yeah, we have links to other pages within the town.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we have links to website. We have links to LifePath because it is government.
Right, right, that's the
We just can't link
criteria.
the Village Neighbors because it is not a government agency.
gotcha, okay, thank you. Okay,
Okay, so, yeah. So I think it was earlier in the year, I took a look at the Silver Line, which is the first entry under LifePath Services, a directory of local resources, and the COA in Shutesbury was kind of misrepresented. I can't remember how right now, but I did send Silverline people an email and ask them to fix it. I think it said the only thing that we did was a luncheon.
Hmm.
So I'll go back and check that and make sure that they've altered that, unless they only do it once a year, in which case we'll have to wait. But I did notify them that that wasn't right.
Thank you.
LifePath also, is there a thing about transportation services with LifePath in here? Can you scroll down, Linda, please, or somebody?
No,
Uh,
we have a separate.
Because we do-
section- We have a separate section on transportation.
okay,
There.
You
I
know,
don't remember.
Hang on. Here,
I don't think it would hurt to list specifics under the tab more than once. Say if you have a health services tab, health resources tab, you could have some, you could refer to the LifePath's medical help, as well as our MedRide program if we're having it. So it could be, you see what I'm saying about referring to things? People don't necessarily know where to look for stuff, so it doesn't hurt to have things
Mhm.
show up in two different places, is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Right. So if from the Council on Aging Services, we took Village Neighbors and the Franklin Regional Transit Authority and put that under other resources for seniors, which would be transportation.
Janice here. So are you suggesting, again, I can't see the whole page, but we retain the section other resources for seniors and maybe add in there transportation,
Yes,
and then, but then the tab for health resources would link back to it somehow as well, so you can find it in more than one place.
yes.
Okay.
You know, I think in the other resources for seniors, that is, as mentioned before, that's an awfully general category.
Yeah.
And certainly we could take out the local meal and grocery programs and have those as a separate tab, because there are quite a few of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was suggested as, but maybe at the last meeting by somebody here, resources for food. I mean,
Yeah.
that might have
Yeah.
been Dale Fleischtiger who suggested that.
Yeah, this is Linda, and I'm thinking similarly that you could have categories that are, like home, housing or housing, and then food or food, nutrition resources or something like that, and then healthcare, and so like tagging along with what Susan Millinger said about things sometimes maybe being listed more than once because they meet different categories. But it seems to me that if someone's looking and they want help with, food, or they want help with heating, if we have categories that are specifically, like not specific, but, like I said, nutrition, home, housing, transportation, healthcare, just a thought.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds reasonable.
Should we have one on taxes?
Right, so
Um,
right, how, finances or something like taxes, yep, and,
we did do that earlier, did a program with Kevin,
Yep.
what was his name? Kevin, who's no longer with us, the assessor who was,
I want to say Spacey,
Right.
which obviously isn't.
no,
Rooted,
Kevin,
Kevin Rudin,
Rudin.
who was really trying very hard to help seniors with
Yep.
their tax exemption issues. Am I correct in understanding that we now have a person stepping in temporarily to that position?
we have sorry, Janice here. Based on what I read in the newsletter, the Our Town,
Mhm.
someone who was in that office has come out of retirement to help us out, but I
Yeah.
can't think of
Right.
his name.
David Burgess.
Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm. Because it's a very complex issue. There are numbers of programs with different qualifications that people have to apply for. And without having an assessor in place who can meet with people and talk to them about it, I think it may have been very difficult for people to proceed along these lines with only the administrative assistant there. So maybe we should ask the person who's stepping in if that person can take these questions, because we don't want to refer people to him and have him say that he can't help. And I think the regulations are changing every year. From what I saw from like 2 town meetings ago, Kevin Rudin, or 2 or 3, I don't know. Kevin Rudin was trying to get all the latest updates incorporated into the assessor's office.
We're gonna look at the assessor's page right now. And if
Okay.
you scroll down, you can see here, property tax exemption guides. So if they're providing guides, that means that they're available to help people.
Theoretically.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we should refer people to the assessor's website then.
So do you want a tab, Gray here, do you want a tab at the top of the page about tax? What I don't even know what you call it, not relief necessarily, but, or
Senior tax exemptions.
as a separate tab,
Yes,
not a
I would.
paragraph on the homepage, okay.
Okay, I'll go back to COA now.
I think we ought to continue to include our own COA services on our homepage.
Right.
Definitely.
Yes, by having the tabs, it will allow the Council on Aging Services to be right at the top.
Right.
Yep.
Hmm. Gray here. So we've got these sort of stray dogs and cats down, and I don't mean village neighbors, but Valley Eye Radio, for example, or the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol, which I know Linda at least, and probably others who were on here before I was, found very important. I'm not sure what if they should stay on the homepage or get lumped under something else.
Well, they are healthcare related,
Valley
Right.
Eye Radio.
care fraud. So I think we could stick them as a special category under healthcare.
Valley Eye Radio is healthcare. I guess-
No, no, the
Oh.
Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Mhm.
I was even wondering about just a Medicare tab.
Mhm. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
But I think something else refers to that in here too, but I can't remember what.
It's one of the programs that that LifePath does.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not just Medicare, it's Medicare, Medicaid, and Mass Health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
it could be under healthcare.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so no separate tab for, because it'll confuse people. 'Cause
Janice. Oh, pardon.
what I'm thinking is, I could put Massachusetts Senior Medicare Control under the tab for health resources. I'm just concerned that if I said, I was thinking of a tab that says Medicare, but you're right. That leaves out some other things, and I don't want to mislead people. So,
Right.
Mhm.
Right, if you have, because the shine can be under that healthcare as well.
Mhm. So a category of healthcare.
yeah, but not a separate one for Medicare
Mm.
No,
in terms of a tab.
Well,
Well,
under healthcare, there could be a tab, a section, a category for Medicare, and then other, and different.
I'd have to look at tabs again to see how they're set up. If you can have
yeah,
a tab and then a sub tab,
And then a menu, a tab menu, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
even if you didn't have a sub tab,
Mhm.
you could have sort of categories list under your healthcare, right?
And
Right.
Gail might be able to get my head on straight on this.
Right, because
Mhm.
each tab will have a drop down in which you pick what you want.
Right, and that's why I don't think you need a tab and then a tab. You have the
Yeah.
tab.
Yeah.
healthcare, and then you click
Yeah.
on that, and there'll be all this other
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
And you could have a Medicare, Medicaid, Mass Health as one of the choices in the drop down.
Yeah,
I would think Valley Eye Radio deserves its own tab, because what else would we put it with? And I don't think it would be on our homepage.
this is Faber. What do you mean it wouldn't be on the homepage? I mean, we're,
It would be a separate thing on the homepage, the way Council of Aging Services would be.
okay, right.
It would have a tab by
Distinct
it
itself.
would be its own tab.
Right, yes.
so Valley Eye Radio is its own tab. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, unless we want to have a communications tab.
Oh, what?
Communications,
That's
that's cleaner, just have Valley Eye Radio. I don't know, what do the rest of you think?
I don't think this is Fabra. Looking at this, I don't see a lot of other things that are, communication. I mean, I think the Valley Eye Radio would be, specific and,
Mhm.
yeah. How, very different, free of charge, yeah,
Mhm.
There may be other resources that could go with that, because there's Valley Eye Radio, and then there's Commission for the Blind, which also has resources for people, special recorders to read books aloud with very large buttons.
okay.
So I don't know, like what that tab would be, but for now, like you said, since we have Valley Eye Radio, that could be its own. But if we come up with, as other information and resources come in, it could be revised and
Well, I mean, potentially we have it for the visually impaired tab.
Mhm.
well,
Because I think
yes.
we might get more things to put there.
Mhm.
Right.
So something like resources for visually impaired.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking if we looked on LifePath, we'd probably find some things down there too.
yeah.
That go into that larger category.
Mhm.
Gonna have a lot of tabs.
Mhm.
You know, if we have Stockton here, do you know if we have anything on a place called Triad?
Oh,
We'd
that
have,
we should. Mhm.
Because they give out like walkers. There's always
Right,
things on next
right.
door. I need a walker, I
Yeah.
need a wheelchair, and
Yeah.
That would be a health resource.
You're right, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
let me write Triad down. I can find where it was.
I think we had an article about Triad in the paper.
We
That
did,
might be
yeah,
what it was, yeah.
Mhm. But it would be good to have it here.
yes.
Janice had a list, collected a list of places that you could rent equipment.
That was in a Gazette.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew we did it someplace. Okay.
You know, that would be worth having a tab on or including somewhere, that stuff that you collected information about, Janice.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, there's also the Sand for Seniors program.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I thought we were gonna be getting an update from Kristen on it, and I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything back from her. Now that I'll contact her now that winter is coming on. I thought there was something she wanted to talk to us about, but we haven't heard.
No.
So
Do we have the Stockton here? Do we have the previous gazettes on file?
They're online.
They're
They're-
online here,
they're
so
on
you
the-
can reach them here.
They're on the, it's hard to see them right now, Jeanette, because here you can
There they are.
kind of peek there.
there newsletters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. And down at the very bottom with Village Neighbors, does Village Neighbors have a website that we can
We're
post
not,
or not?
okay, it's not, okay, the web committee has a policy that a couple of us do web pages think should be looked at again, but we cannot publish a website of something that is not a government organization. Village Neighbors is not a government organization. It may be a not-for-profit or a nonprofit or whatever the correct language is, but we can't use it.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is Favre, slot Village Neighbors under transportation.
But we can, okay, hold on a minute. I'm gonna have a lot of trouble trying to put this back together. On my own
Okay.
brain here. I'm not suggesting we take, we were talking about a special transportation tab at one
Mhm.
point, and we were gonna mention village neighbors in that. But I think since it does so much more, I think it should be allowed to have its own little place on the homepage.
Yeah,
I agree.
yes, I
I-
agree. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And does
Right, but
Jan-
you could also put the transportation piece under transportation. It
Yes.
doesn't help to have it, it doesn't hurt to have it in twice.
Yeah,
Janice, I thought was it the Winter Gazette where you had something about transportation with, it mentioned village neighbors and it mentioned FERCog, FRTA?
I don't
Their
remember.
MedRide program. I think there was something in that,
right here.
Well, that's not in the
yeah,
Gazette.
okay, there it is, yeah. Franklin Reach FRTA.
I think, and I'm also confused at this point myself. I'm gonna have to get out of full screen if I had to do this. I thought we had a more recent Gazette than the winter 2023, but maybe I'm wrong. But I thought that if there was, I had listed it, but I'm not seeing it. So I need to get onto my computer files to see what I've done.
hmm.
'Cause I
So
don't
did
know.
we have two
You've had
in this-
two, right?
fiscally? I think we did have two.
Yeah, so, and I thought I put it on the website, but maybe it didn't take. No, I think that is the last one.
This is the last one.
Unless there's the one about the transportation question. But that might, I
That
might,
was,
I
that
might
was,
be confusing it with our town.
that was in our town. Yep.
Bear
Ah,
with- bear with
okay.
me, my brain is not what it used to be. So,
Hmm.
Yes. So this is the one that told all about the age-friendly survey.
yeah, okay.
Okay, this is quick scroll through of the most
Oh,
recent.
there it is, MedRide programs. Go back, MedRide programs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Village neighbors and FRTA.
yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was more recent than that, but you're right, it was that long ago.
mhm.
okay.
Okay. So, so Janice is trying to hold her head on to get all of these suggestions. So
Well,
we'll,
we don't have to solve everything today, right? If we've given
Right.
Janice some
yeah,
suggestions.
yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to do it in a couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, November is coming up fast, or will be.
Mhm.
But I think, and as I said, we can always change it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
true. Yeah.
Shall I stop
Okay.
sharing now? Are we good with
Thank
the
you.
page? Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to see? Good, okay.
I think that was,
Okay, so
thanks everybody for that.
um,
I didn't take terribly full notes. I hope that's not the end of the world.
Well, I've taken some, but whether I'll be able to follow them is another question.
Well, I've taken some too, so we can compare notes.
Okay,
mhm.
You get
Okay,
started.
so the next item is the peace of mind binder, and Martha sent around another draft, which I don't
Sorry.
know if
It was late.
people
but-
have had a chance to look at it. I thought it was terrific. Thank you, Martha.
Oh, you're
I think it
welcome.
had everything in it that I could think of.
Do-
And I
Do you
don't
want
know
me to
what,
put it
if
up?
other people have comments.
I did notice, having looked at this late,
Yeah.
this is Janice, sorry.
Yep.
That she's asked us some questions like I listed 2 options for the same document, which version do we want to use? And I can't even answer the question because I have not looked at the links, and I apologize for that.
Okay. That was about the
Healthcare proxy.
healthcare proxy. Yeah.
One of them was more involved than the other, so. Let me see if I can get the stupid thing to open. Control click. Okay, the first one is from Mass Medical Society, and it just goes over it goes over what healthcare proxy is, information, instructions. You can download a form and then discussion questions. Think about what's most important to you in life, what makes it meaningful. Think about what's important for you in relation to your health. Have people face difficult health decisions? So it's a lot more information than the second one, which is the second one is just I obtained this form online. It's the healthcare proxy with instructions and a document. And it basically explains who you are. You're the principal. The other person is you have a healthcare agent, and then it explains your alternate agent and the fact of you need signatures and witnessing statements. So it's much briefer than the Mass Medical Society offers.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't, how much information is just going to overwhelm people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Stockton question, is this going to be a button on the website as well, or is this going to be a special initiative that we send out?
Well, it's interesting. It's on the website now.
Okay.
It was
part of it.
The older version of it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, this probably, I don't know, this may be useful under medical, the medical section, healthcare section.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a great topic for the next Gazette.
That's what I thought we were doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I mean, I think it's also, I think what Jeanette's asking is is it worth keeping on the website afterwards as a resource for people?
Mm-hmm. This is Bernhard. I think it would be, but probably under a tab, right? Because it's pretty lengthy.
Medical health issues health issues.
I have it right now, as we talked about health resources, and I just wrote it down for under there, but maybe it's end of life should be its own thing.
Well, it's not just end of life. It's health emergencies, healthcare situations.
Right, could be temporary,
Mm-hmm.
an induced
coma. I mean, for instance, people often don't know. I've found that that power of attorney is not valid after the person after death. So
there was a article in the latest AARP magazine, I think it was the latest, about power of attorney and how the different insurance companies require different sort of information associated with power of attorney. It was sort of scary. Talked about who didn't know that they different information for some companies.
Okay, so that could be check with your insurance company to
too.
see.
Banks too.
And Stockton and banks too. I just wanted to mention.
Okay. So that would then, Susan and Jeanette, it would be good to say under that section, please check with your insurance company and your bank to get clarity as to which form of power of attorney is valid?
I'll try to look for the article, and it might be that we could, I don't know, I guess we don't consider AARP something we can link to, though.
No,
But I'm wondering if the information is available someplace else that we could link to.
and you know, states are all different as well.
Hmm.
So we have to, you know, be careful about other information regarding, you know, relative to that. I only know that because I've begun researching Washington State.
Mhm.
And so
Okay.
there are different durable power of attorneys, like this specific link is for financial power of attorney.
Mm.
Yeah.
In other words, get a lawyer.
Yeah.
The other thing I think, gray here, is that what we can't list a URL for AARP, but that doesn't mean we can't mention it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned Village Neighbors
Yeah. Good.
or Valley
Radio.
whatever the radio thing is. We can't give a URL, but we're not forbidden from speaking about it.
Okay.
So
Yep.
you could say, you know, look online for information from the AARP or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
This is Faber here. So, just I'm curious, I'm gonna talk to the bank. So what are how does it differ with the banks?
Right. Yeah, I'm confused about that as well, having used power of attorney myself.
I know that, oh, yeah, I'm on. I know, well, it was down in New York. I needed like a separate power of attorney for my dad's to be able to sort of have access to his accounts and such.
Right, that's the differences in states.
Yes.
That's difference, you know, differences, like this is Massachusetts durable financial power of attorney. And so that's exactly that, because I'm just starting to learn about Washington State and,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
they don't have a healthcare proxy, they have a durable power of attorney for healthcare.
Ah,
So,
Mm.
sounds familiar.
Do we
know,
have links to government places like Social Security and that type of thing, or is that so far out there?
On this document, this is Faber, on this document, no, these are only the documents that, oh, that's a good point, because my brother, I was able to talk to, I'm able to talk to Social Security if I have questions in regard to my husband. So that's probably a good thing, just to, as a link, they need to be, you know, a co-signer or whatever.
yeah, you're, or like, right, for Social Security, you're like, you know, your alternate, your specific contact person, or I forget
Right.
the term they use, but yeah, yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
That's
it
a
seems
good one.
if this section on power of attorney is being rewritten, it or revised at all, it may want to say right out front that there are differences from state to state. So be sure
Mhm.
the right or the
Right.
state.
Right, I think that is a good thing to put right at the top, that this is specific to Massachusetts.
Ah,
Because that way we don't have to go
Mhm.
beyond, you know, outside of Massachusetts, because this is, you want to be this specific to the people in Shutesbury that, you know,
Yeah.
who it's for.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and those, some of them could have relatives in New Hampshire or Vermont or New York that they, like Jeanette, that they might be dealing with.
Yeah.
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 Then
Right, so saying right at the top, this is specific to Massachusetts. If you are thinking about someone out of state, consult, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, that's a good point, Susan.
Mhm.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And maybe we ought to call the power of attorney on this that's being, that should be described as durable power of attorney for financial matters. Is that the technical term?
What was it?
That's what
Bob,
it is.
Well, Linda has been referring to the specific type of power of attorney it is.
That's what it says right here on the. Right
Well,
there.
Oh, okay, on the link.
Yeah, on the link. Yeah,
So it might say that in the description of what the thing is too.
it's right here. It just says it right here. It,
such as attending or maintaining property.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a little broader, it looks like to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is Favre. I think I tried to, in terms of doing this, to make sure they were Massachusetts forms. Okay.
it's my understanding, this may be wrong, that some powers of attorney end with the death of the person involved and some do not.
That's- Okay, that's to clarify as well.
Is that what other people understand about powers of attorney?
I was under the impression that it ended with death.
Whose death?
The death of the,
The death of the
Not-
person, because then you use death certificates after that.
And at that point, this is Favre, at that point, there would be somebody that would be executor.
Right.
Mhm.
And you use death certificates for every transaction at
Mhm.
that point. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're no longer acting on behalf of the person
Okay,
after they die. You're acting in place of them, sort of, to conduct the business. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so do we have enough comment to have another draft of this?
It's such a helpful document.
So this is Favre.
We'll
So
have it-
can I ask a question, Joanne?
Yeah,
Okay, so we want to know, so the statement of these forms are specific for Massachusetts, and then does power of attorney end with death? Clarify that, and that would be a statement too. And then in terms of I'll ask the bank if there are anything in addition that we might need to add. Okay.
and then Stockton here, do we need to then decide, you've given us choices on several of the actual forms, like one might be better than the other?
Correct. The
Mhm.
one is, there's one, it's for the healthcare proxy. Do we want the long explanation with Mass Medical, which they offer a lot of, I think it's helpful and that it offers more questions for people to consider.
Mhm.
Because when you're
Mhm.
thinking of a healthcare proxy, I mean, it's not just signing the papers, it's what are you considering? How do you want to be
Mhm.
right?
What are your wishes?
Right.
Main-
Right. Yeah, it's having the
Mhm.
conversation with your proxy about
Yeah.
what.
Mhm.
I think I would, with your background, Martha, I think I would bow to whichever you think is more helpful.
Mhm.
it's
Well, I
also
yeah.
include them both
Mhm.
with a little statement after them that, the first is, this is a very helpful document, but you might not need one so detailed.
Okay,
I mean, just as a possibility.
right. Nope, that's helpful. I mean, somebody may be just looking for the document and just needs one and
Mhm.
Mhm.
has already considered all the options that are provided with Mass Medical. Okay. Thank you.
Where do people get these documents if they don't if they're not online? I mean, if they don't have the ability to download something.
I got one from my PCP yesterday.
This is Fabra.
Well, that was-
A lot of these are available at the doctor's offices. I mean,
Mhm.
healthcare directives, the MOLT, that's obviously gonna come out of the physician's office, the provider's office. So, yeah, I mean, the directive in terms of, so. And a lot of these may just be
So-
on charts to begin with.
So can we include something about where else to find the documents, if not to download them? Because I'm wondering about the advanced directive. I mean, some of these things, having done this ourselves, we got through lawyers. I don't know. I know they're available online, but I don't know where else you would find them if not with a lawyer.
What about suggesting to find them, you could ask your lawyer or doctor or friendly librarian.
Okay.
A good suggestion.
Yeah.
Does our friendly librarian know these things?
She would find them if she didn't.
She would find them. That's true.
Mhm.
And you all could make sure that Marianne has this document.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, who's ever working at the library, if they have this document, they could just click on the links and generate it.
Exactly.
That's true too. Yeah. Okay, I think we need to move along because we only have about 10 minutes left. So if we could do another version, Martha,
Sure.
that would be great. And if people have other ideas to send to Martha, if we're looking at a winter Gazette, possibly we could maybe have it ready sometime in January, February.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
So the next item is the annual report, Susan.
Yeah, and I did it last year and I will do it this year. And it's due sometime I think by November 30th.
Mhm.
So I'll be working on it soon and I will do it soon enough so I can send you a draft and you can comment on the draft.
Okay. Great, thank you. Yeah, we haven't had an announcement of that yet
No,
from the select board or from the town administrator.
I thought the town clerk might even send them out.
Administrative
Maybe.
secretary.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yay. Okay, and then the unanticipated item is that we need to vote to appoint Martha as the co-chair of the Council on Aging. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved, Millinger?
Great, second.
Okay. Jeanette, did you have a question?
No, I just wasn't sure what I was supposed to do there and then felt embarrassed.
No, we're going to do a roll call vote, alphabetical
Okay.
order. Okay, Bernhard, aye.
Barbara abstained.
Great, aye.
Millinger, aye.
Dot I.
Stockton, I.
All right.
And go Martha.
Yes, thank you,
Go,
Martha.
Martha, and thank you so much for stepping up. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure we all do. Okay.
Fine.
So if people don't have anything else to add under unanticipated items, we want to wish Linda all the best.
Thank you, and I wish you all the best. It's been wonderful to be with you all on the council. Really lovely. And you're awesome. So Yeah, and reach out if you have any questions that I might be able to help you with. And I made a note to myself today to remember to write up the mailing and GIZEC mailing instructions. So
Okay,
I haven't forgotten.
okay.
Okay.
We will be calling on you, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
so one of you will have to learn how to screen share. It's really not hard, but yep,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a little task. Just make sure you have, what you need to do is just be sure that just open up whatever document it is that you want to look at. And then when you click on screen share, a window will come up with everything you've got open, and just
Mhm.
pick the one you want and it'll show up.
Do you have to be co-host?
You have to be a host or co-host,
Ah.
yeah, to do it.
Okay.
And I believe you have to have settings on your computer too that will allow you to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you go down to the bottom of your screen, it'll say share screen.
Yeah.
And but it's only enabled if you're host or co-host. So that's the trick.
So my,
Okay.
Janice here, mine says share screen and it's green, which
Yep.
makes me think it's live, but I wouldn't be able to use it because I'm not a co-host. Is that?
Correct.
So it's
correct.
normal to be green
I-
and not me go, ah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
always
people-
green. It's always green.
Oh,
And
Okay.
You can give people permission to share
Yes.
screen.
I knew that, but I was looking at that color and was thinking, I don't know. what
You
that's-
actually don't actually have to be co-host. You can the host can give an
Permission
individual
to.
person
Yeah.
specific opportunity to screen share, and that's usually often used when there's a guest who wants to make a presentation.
And I've done it
Mhm.
once or twice, but it takes me forever to find where I want to click on to let other people see stuff that's relevant.
Yeah, I've learned to make sure that document is open first, and then it makes it much easier to find when you hit screen share and you see everything that you've got open.
Mhm.
So
Have we
that's the
officially
thing.
meeting yet? Because I have a real quick question to ask. Because I have this problem of both being secretary and letting people in who are coming in. Could we have somebody who would be willing to be co-host? You have to let somebody in.
Mhm.
To keep an eye on the waiting room? Would somebody be willing to do that?
I did that for my church when we first started using Zoom, but I haven't for a while, but I presumably could be able to do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Good.
and yes, you can just see, you'll be able to see the number of participants, and you'll see there'll be a little blip at the top of the screen that says so-and-so's in the waiting room.
Right. And hopefully their name.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Janice.
Just remind me.
Yes, and you have to remind me too. I may forget.
Let's see. Notes.
Does anyone have any other items or comments? No? Okay, so shall we vote to adjourn the meeting at 6:56 PM?
Second.
Oops, so moved.
Barbara.
I think somebody needs to make a motion, huh? Move to adjourning? Isn't that what somebody has to do?
Yes.
Barbara make-
Bernhardt, I move to adjourn the meeting at 6:56 PM.
Barbara.
Second,
Barbara,
Mhm.
second.
Okay, roll call vote, Bernhardt, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Ray, I.
Millinger, aye.
I.
Dr. and I.
Bye, everybody.
Be
Bye-bye.
well.
Bye. Thank you. Be well, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.